was a different sound. Hi, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Romantasy Roundtable, a tale of Rick and Roses. My name is Rick, and I'm joined by Roses.
Amanda.
And Kim.
And as always, we'd always appreciate if you consider liking this video. It would really help with the channel if you subscribe. And we would love to hear from you, so please drop us a comment or in wherever you're watching this, Spotify, YouTube. We have an email, romantasyroundtable@gmail.com. So yes, please, we would love a like. Subscribing really helps us out. And please drop us a message. I know I missed something. I missed something last time. What was it?
We've got social media, and we've got Goodreads and Storygraph. You can find us on all the things. We don't really use social media, but we have it.
Yeah, we have it. It's there. I've been having my summer's been fine. If you listened to the last episode, took my dog to surgery today. He's home, so I've had a busy day. But if you do decide to email us, like our good friend Jamie Dawes.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
So yeah, everybody, we are, if you listen to us regularly, we're actually recording this out of our normal day. We recorded our last episode posted on Monday. We actually recorded on Monday. Today is Thursday, so we're ahead of schedule because Amanda is devouring this book, and we're trying to get her to the end. So we're recording early.
Postponed the recording of this like 6 times.
Yeah.
But we're here. We're here now.
So Jamie, good.
Am I going to stay up all night and finish Kingdom of Ash?
Yes, you are.
It's distinctly possible.
I would.
Also, Tristan is at his bachelor party, so like it's just me and the dog.
Yeah, you need to finish that. So Jamie, I can't believe we missed this. Jamie brought us a good thing to talk about. He says, "Good morning, evening, or night. Hope you're all having a swell day." He says, "This is not the thing I was going to say, but I always saw Samba as lacrosse, as if I remember correctly. IIRC. They have helmets? ? I don't remember." Who knows anything about sunball?
Nobody. Look,
it's rugby.
I don't know.
Rick thinks it's baseball. Cindy thinks it's baseball. I think it's rugby. In the spirit of the summer of soccer, maybe it's soccer. I don't know. It's what's Final Fantasy?
Blitzball.
It's Blitzball.
The second thing he says, I can't believe.
What's the like Aztec ball game that they?
Oh yeah.
They had the little like tiny circles that they had to throw through.
Death ball.
Like stones.
Crossfire.
You'll
get caught up in the
crossfire.
That's right.
That's now Sunball is whatever the name of that. Was it Aztec? Was it? Oh my gosh,
I think it was Mayan.
Mayan, thank you. I was like, I'm probably messing up all of my Central South American.
Those are all my people? Which one is mine?
Yours are the Incas.
Oh, yeah.
It was way off.
Maya ball game is known as pits, and in classical Maya, and popularized as poke to poke.
The other thing that Jamie says that we missed is the Yaros news came out about Threshing Day.
Yes, we haven't talked about Threshing Day.
As all of my book friends are either romance girls who don't want to read about dragons, or boys who don't know how to embrace their X chromosome. Yes, Jamie, me and you, that's why we're friends. I want your take. Who will be the 13 stories outside of the expected Rhiannon, Riddick, Sawyer, Xaden, and other members?
Rhiannon.
I don't know.
That's like the third time you've done that.
Other members of the Quest Squad would be keen to hear your thoughts. That's all. Enjoy your books. Your favorite Manon stan, Jamie.
I would be really interested if we got some of the older generations stories. Like if we got like Mama Sorengale or even like Xaden's dad.
I've been wanting what's his name? Good old what's his name? Taryn's old writer.
Yeah, that would be really cool too.
That would be a neat one.
I want Taryn's original writer.
I've seen a lot of discourse. I'm like really on Threads, which I know Rick likes to make fun of me because he says nobody's on Threads. You know who is on Threads is the entire Heated Rivalry fandom.
All right, focus on this.
That's why I'm on Threads. But because of that, I'm very much on like book threads. And so I've seen a lot of discourse about this, and there's like, this is a thing that happened on Twitter. It happens on Threads. I'm sure it happens on Blue Sky too, where it's like, thing happens, people are excited, people are outraged about people who are excited. Then people are outraged about people who are outraged. And then I say, that's enough internet for today. So the outrage was like, this is just a cash grab and she's trying to, and it's like, I don't care. Like I will read stories within the universes that I enjoy.
Yeah, man.
Like, I don't understand. They're going to make 700 Game of Thrones shows. Who cares?
Right.
Like, people are going to keep watching them because dragons are cool. Like, like, same with like the Hunger Games. Like, they've written 2 prequels. Like, okay, they're good.
And this feels much more substantial to me than the Christmas special did for Akatar.
1000%. And I love a short story. So I think this is going to be really cool.
Yeah, like we love the like Carissa Broadbent novellas. Obviously Assassin's Blade, we can have certain some.
Yeah, like we love a prequel.
Like the stories were really good. So like that's what this is.
Jamie, I said this in our text, not with you because you're not in our text, but get ready to cry about Liam again because we're getting a Liam story.
For sure.
You know who I would actually kind of like? Jack fucking Barlow.
That would be really interesting because it's the same threshing day.
Right.
From a completely different perspective.
Right.
Like the same moment.
Imogen will be cool.
Yeah. Like we're obviously going to get Xaden.
But what if we got like Melgren?
Yeah.
You know, like that class
I
of
think
people.
It would. Yeah, I really think it would be cool to have like some older people.
Okay, so like we're lock it in. We're getting Riddick because everybody wants that, and that's gonna be funny. We're not gonna
getting Xaden.
Are we counting? Yeah, sure. Why not? All right, let's throw this out there. All right, so
okay, Riddick,
Xaden, Liam. I'm gonna say Jack Barlow, Rhiannon.
I think Rhiannon and Sawyer are probably
Rhiannon,
also.
Sawyer, Jack.
Yes, Jack.
I'm gonna go with Taryn's original writer.
Okay.
Forgot his name.
I'm gonna go with Mama Sorengale.
All right, so we have 4 more left. Mira.
And Brennan.
We got 2 more left.
More. It's 13, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Sorry. 3 more. Who else could we get?
Xaden's dad.
Sure, why not?
Okay. No. Do we know if he was a writer?
That's what I was wondering. That's why I was like in my head trying to be like, who was the first of the rebels?
Lock it in. My unhinged prediction is that we're going to get a character we've never met before.
Yeah. Right.
And maybe that'll be like one of the people who becomes Vernon, who is important.
Maybe like the first Vernon.
Yeah. Did we say Imogen?
Oh, no, not yet. So Imogen.
Imogen, somebody we don't know. And then last one, what's his name? Cousin guy?
I wonder if we get...
Dane? Did we say Dane already?
Oh, Dane.
Okay. Because I was going to say, what if we get Andarna's perspective? We get Baby Andarna again. That's all I wanted. All right.
Also, too, I don't know if he's going to listen to this, but my friend Terry, who is like halfway through 4th grade right now, Terry, we love you.
Hi, Terry.
Texted again today, and he was like, Dane's tedious redemption arc is more or less complete. Please kill him off now so I do not have to hear any more of his shit.
No, I like him. He worked his way back.
And I responded and I was like, no.
Before we start,
get back to him, like him.
And just so you all know, our Threshing Day episode will come out a little late because I have to get married. And Sarah and Rebecca did not consult me. And so our fall schedule is going to be a little weird, but we promise we're going to pod all the things.
Mm-hmm.
It's here to.
We've said it before, but I just want to be mad at every publishing house, really, not the authors, not their faults, but every publishing house out there that did not consult either Amanda's wedding schedule and or a school calendar to understand when these should have come out.
Summer reading.
Right. September, October, not the time, y'all. It's not.
January, I'm cold. I'm inside.
Before we start this, and I go take care of my dog. as you all know, this is going to be real quick, but I have to say it because I found, as we all know, I am law and ordering Tamlin back into his rightful place. I'm going to ask you two one question. This isn't a trick question. Why don't we like Tamlin? Real quick. Give me a sentence.
What I said in the video you made last year was that I do believe that Tamlin loved Feyre, but he didn't love her in the way that she needed to be loved.
That wasn't my question. Why don't we like him?
He's controlling.
Great. That's the word I wanted to hear. Kim, would you agree? Go ahead. You can agree.
I don't think I want to agree.
We cannot there is not space in this podcast
Hold on.
for us to get into the concept of whataboutism and how over it I am right now.
Wait. Ready? Tamlin is controlling, yes? Are we agreeing?
Sure.
So do you remember when Feyre went to the summer court to steal the book?
Yes.
And she was flirting with the king of the summer court?
Yes.
Rhys gets mad. And I quote, "What got under my skin," Rhys says, his breathing a bit uneven, "is that you smiled at him." If Tamlin is bad, Rhys does not allow Feyre to smile at people.
So the concept of whataboutism is when you can't acknowledge that one thing is bad because you're too busy talking about how other things are bad. And I'm not going to say out loud why this is so in my brain right now, because I would eventually like to make money off of this podcast. But this is like this move. I'm not here for it. They can both be bad. Everyone can suck. It's okay.
That's where I'm at.
It's okay.
They can both suck.
Great. That doesn't redeem Tamlin.
I think the line, there's a difference between jealousy and like innocent jealousy versus controlling.
He locked her in the house. He caused an explosion with his anger.
He did.
That's not, I'm jealous because you smiled at him. Those are different things. Those are not equivalent. You can make an argument from the Court of the Silver Cover, like that's real. But this is not, I'm not interested in this argument.
All right.
The book we are talking about today is Kingdom of Ash. Chapters
68. Sponsor us, please. We're really good at staying on topic. Chapter 68, our favorite shape-shifting monarch, Dorian, flies high into the gloomy, smoking fortress of Morath as a crow after burying the two all-important word keys in a distant shale outcropping like a paranoid squirrel. Mary, you're never going to listen to this podcast ever in your life, but Shale shout out just for you. You love Shale. It's her favorite rock. Once safely inside the keep, he shifts into a mouse and cleverly utilizes Manon's mental blueprint to scuttle along dark stone corridors, effortlessly dodging armored guards and predatory kitchen cats while eavesdropping on terrified servants. Fueled by pure personal revenge, Dorian ignores every shred of basic self-preservation to ambush Erewhon and Daenerys in the council room. With Daenerys in the council room. I was like, Daenerys isn't a guy, he's a sword. Only to freeze in utter shock when the Dark King's mysterious visitor unmasks herself as Maeve.
Ruh-roh.
I was surprised.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't think it was going to be Maeve. I also really liked that he was like, when you're in a place and you need the tea, you go to the kitchen. And I love that.
Also, this comes up a little bit more in the subsequent chapters here. But it is really shocking that Erewhon cannot clock him.
I still don't understand that.
I don't understand it either. Because like Maeve like immediately was like, oh yeah, I knew you were here. I knew what you were.
I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
I think they have different powers.
I guess, but like, that's just, I don't know.
But they also, I mean, like they talk about with the cadre of like, everyone can smell the cadre because of like their powers when they walk in. And so it's like Dorian has all of this magic. Maybe
it's because Erewhon is at this point human, and Maeve is Fae.
Yeah, the way I've rationalized it in my brain is that they're different in that way, and then also that like because Erewhon knows him, he's like intentionally disguising himself in a way so that Erewhon won't clock him, but Maeve doesn't know him, so she clocks him, which is like counterintuitive, but that's how it makes sense in my brain.
Sure.
Chapter 69. Nice. A battered Aedion, Lysandra, and their allied royals march through the bleak, gloomy streets of Orynth toward the castle, while Aedion secretly spirals under the immense guilt of his heavy battlefield casualties. Inside a dismal council chamber, Lysandra fiercely puts the ungrateful Lord Darrow in his place for disrespecting Aelin's epic court-building efforts before leaving to reunite with her darling ward Evangeline. Later that evening, Aedion tracks Lysandra down to the vast hollowed-out throne room, where they stare at the ghost of the destroyed antler throne, heartbreakingly bonding over their shared fear that Aelin might never actually sit upon Terrason's throne. And I think this was the moment where I was like, oh, they don't even know she's okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Everyone else at this point knows she's okay.
Yep.
I guess Manon and Dorian don't, but like, I believe that Manon and Dorian know she's going to be okay. I don't know that Aedion and Lysandra know that.
I would also argue that like Manon and Dorian have their own pretty intense magic as well, and so like they don't feel nearly as vulnerable as individual beings as particularly Aedion and Lysandra, who has also clearly always felt that her entire life,
and they're in her home,
right? And with Evangeline, who truly is like the most vulnerable of vulnerable.
Little baby.
I feel real bad for like, because we guys perspective, for Aedion and Lysandra throughout this entire book, because they're fighting for 800 pages.
It's crazy.
That's literally all. They are literally fighting for their life.
Like they are watching
800
thousands
pages.
and thousands and thousands of people die.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, not that like Aelin has it easy, but
no
like,
one has an easy book.
Right. Right.
But they really don't get a break. Like they don't get, like we talked about in the last.
They're not seeing glowworms.
Right. I was going to say, we're talking about in the last chapter, like the moments of joy that you still need to have in and amongst, this much terror.
Nada.
And they're just like stuck in it.
Yeah.
Chapter 70. In a jaw-dropping villain summit, Maeve shocks Erewhon by revealing she is actually his long-lost Vogue sister-in-law in a face suit, offering an evil alliance to wipe out Brandon's bloodline now that Aelin has escaped her grasp. To seal the deal, Maeve opens a dark portal to bring forth the Karankui, giant nightmare spiders, suggesting Erewhon's remaining Vogue princesses inhabit them to create the ultimate terrifying immortal army. After Erewhon grants her guest quarters, that was a hotel chain in the 80s, and that was the first hotel where my dad worked.
Nice.
Shout out, guest quarters. A sneaky Dorian tried to hitch a ride under her cloak in mouse form, only for Maeve to ruthlessly stomp on his tail, choke his magic, and mockingly announce that she knew he was spying the entire time. Bartholomew, what do you think?
He wants to eat a mouse.
He wants to eat a mouse. I thought, okay, I struggled with this plot line. I think I just like wasn't as locked into it as I was to the others. I had to like reread things a couple times.
I liked it.
I thought, I'm not like mad at it. I was surprised at how quickly Maeve was like, surprise, it's me.
Yeah.
And I didn't really, maybe they'll explain it in the last section, but I don't think so. I don't really understand why the Vogue princesses are different than the Vogue princes and why they're like harder to lock into a body. And then like why the spiders are gonna be better. I
raised that last time or the time before where I was like, what's up with the
book is
princesses?
1,000 pages and we're not explaining that?
No, we're not.
Okay. I just think we could have had one fewer battlefield scene and they could have explained that to me. That's all.
The spiders are just strong. That's it. Just like really strong. And they're immortal.
They're from another world.
Right.
And I sort of assumed that, like, we've sort of set Maeve up as, like, the biggest of the big bad here. And so, therefore, the female identifying Vogue are of Maeve. And so, therefore, the bigger bads than the male identifying Vogue.
Yeah. Like, other than, if you take Dorian out and put him in, like, his own category, because we still don't really know what he is, everyone else who is the most powerful is a woman.
Yeah.
Like the cadre is sworn to Aelin, and everyone else
has been sworn to Maeve before that, and so exactly. Yeah, so that was just sort of my assumption of just like, okay, the women are stronger, so the princesses are stronger.
I like it. Okay, chapter 71. Dorian uses his signature courtier charm and a wall of ice around his mind to propose a surprisingly tempting fake marriage alliance to Maeve. We don't know that it's fake at this point.
Sure don't.
Offering her the throne of Adarlan if she helps him secure the word key. After using the magic of Daenerys to play her like, yeah, no, I don't think so. Anyway, he turns into a raven, disguises himself as Vernon Lorcan to stroll right up to Erewhon in Morath. He boldly grills the Vault King on his villainous motivations, accidentally learning that his late father resisted Erewhon before slinking back to Maeve, who lovingly calls him a reckless fool. Can somebody do a better job than AI of what happens here?
Kim?
He is playing her. But like you said, we don't know that.
We don't know that.
And so it seems like he is sort of being in line with the Dorian that we have seen of late, who is sort of like deep in his own trauma and feelings of like not being good enough and not being able to offer enough. And so he's like, yeah, I'm going to sell myself to the devil in essence.
Yeah.
And
whatever it takes.
And whatever it takes to pair with Maeve. And so that's what we see of this. And also, like, I thought the first time I read this, and I thought the second time again, because I fucking forgot it. I felt shacked both times. So I was actually locked in with it.
Yeah, I actually like this little side story because I felt it was really tense. Like, when Maeve called him, I was like, he's dead. When he's Vernon, I was like, he's gonna fucking find out. He's gonna be dead. When they go up into that chamber, I was like, they're gonna get him.
I was like, there's no way Erewhon's going to keep not knowing that.
Right. And then even on this part, I was like, he's going to fuck everybody up and go with me.
Yeah. I was like, in this moment, I was so disappointed in him. And literally the only thing keeping me going was I was like, Rick loves this guy. There's no way this is the end of his story.
I did hate where he becomes Vernon here and is pushing Erewhon with all these questions. Because it felt unnecessarily reckless to me. On top of everything else, that sort of felt like.
I mean, I like it because that's the point they're at. You know,
I feel like it's consistent with his trauma, where he's like, he's just got to know.
And going back to
I think foreshadows what's going to happen. Like the fact that he's asking all these questions about his dad, I think keeps his dad like kind of front of mind, which foreshadows what's going to happen in a few chapters.
Going back to the last chapter or two where you were like, Maeve, this is really quick. Like, why is she? Hey, it's me. I think it's because she has nothing else. Like they've explained that she's lost Dornell. Yeah, she's got no warrior. Like it's literally just her. So she's fucking Project Hail Marying it, you know?
Well, and I think she's you know, her survival instinct is really strong. That's how she's made it this far. Right. And she like doesn't have a moral compass. So yeah, you're right. She's just desperate. Everybody's desperate here.
Everyone's desperate.
All right. Chapter 72. As the massive allied army slowly marches through the freezing waste towards the Farian Gap, Chaol and Gavriel share a surprisingly touching heart-to-heart about their complicated fathers, second chances, and Gavriel's desperate wish to reconcile with Aedion when they reach Orynth. I loved this. Loved it. Love a complicated dad. Meanwhile, Nesrin and Borta, which I will always stumble over. Bort. Take to the icy mountain skies on their trusty rucks to scout the enemy fortress, fully expecting to clash with monstrous wyverns and deadly witches. However, the brave scouts return with bewildering news for Aelin and Rowan. The terrifying stronghold is entirely deserted, meaning the massive Iron Teeth Legion has already mobilized and vanished without leaving a trace.
Jet.
Bum, bum, bum. We're going back and forth between places. So chapter 73, Dorian spends a whole... Dorian spends a whole week lurking around Morath in various animal forms until he stumbles into Erewhon's tomb, where rows of horrifying wordstone collars nearly trigger a severe traumatic breakdown. Fortunately, Maeve swoops in to rescue his spiraling mind, leading to an oddly intimate late-night session where she spills major tea on Volg history, her ancient ex, Orcus, and her deep terror of these evil objects. Capitalizing on her sudden cooperation, Dorian convinces the Dark Fae Queen to slip into a sheer black gown and attempt to seduce her way past the guards into the locked tower where the final word key is hidden. Yes.
Okay, question. We've already revealed that we know that this is all sort of a ruse, that Dorian is really kind of playing Maeve through the set of chapters. Is this him playing her, or is this real, what happens in the chamber?
This is real. He's absolutely triggered. 100%.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Easily.
And and
if she didn't come, she was going to die.
This is exactly what Kaltain said was going to happen.
Yeah.
He was like, don't go down there. Don't go down that road, literally or figuratively, because it's just going to fuck you up. And he didn't fucking listen to her.
Nope.
Justice for Kaltain. What a man.
What a man. Just listen to the women. I've learned.
Good man.
Yeah.
All right. Chapter 74. Maeve's thirst trap strategy backfires dramatically when Erewhon rejects her advances, even after she magically glamours herself into stunning illusions of Aelin Galathinius and Manon Blackbeak to taunt the villain. I thought Dorian was going to rip her fucking throat out when she shipped on.
Yeah.
The next morning, Dorian hitches a ride in her pocket, disguised as a tiny field mouse, to eavesdrop on her tense war council with the cruel Volg king. As Erewhon demands she summon her giant Karankui spider army to crush their enemies on the battlefield, Maeve desperately attempts to buy valuable time by promising to open a portal and grant him a quick glimpse of his long-lost evil brothers, Orcus and Mantix, who I swear to God are both Marvel characters. Okay, chapter 75. Back in Orynth, Aedion and Ren settle their bitter old childhood rivalry to coordinate city defenses, teaming up with Lysandra, the Silent Assassins, and Rolf, the Muppet Pilot Wizard. A high-stakes midnight operation on the plain of Thoralis. Lysandra shapeshifts into a giant badger to dig hidden explosive trench traps, which the team fills with chemical fuel from fire lances right before Morath's army arrives at dawn. The sneaky trap works like an absolute charm, blowing 2 terrifying witch towers into oblivion, but the triumph is short-lived as the heroes face the grim realization that a crushing horde of 100,000 enemy troops still surrounds them, and one of the towers didn't destroyed.
Right.
Why a badger?
Why not?
Except
that's what they're known for. They're known for like digging the tunnels.
Are they?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
It's cute.
I would like to give Aedion/crew credit for being creative in all these battles, because they, broke the ice on the river in the last battle, and so that like a couple thousand of the Morath troops fell into the water and then got frozen under the ice. And then here they were able to destroy 2 of the witch towers with these pits. And so, like, kudos to them, man. They are...
You might say they're outgunned, outmanned, outnumbered, outplanned, but they are young, scrappy, and hungry. Rick, what's that a reference to?
Noah Khan, obviously.
It's Hamilton.
Fucking shit.
Hamilton.
Whenever I bring up musical theater, Rick forgets that that's a side of me that he doesn't. This is short, I promise. When we had karaoke on the end of the year party, I joined in a stunning rendition of All That Jazz from the musical Chicago, and Rick the whole time was like, "What the fuck?"
It's true.
Happening to this woman. Chicago.
Love it.
All right, chapter 76. In their spookery tower room, Maeve drops some juicy lore about witch mirrors and boasts about her ancient worldwalker powers before agreeing to cast a deceptively realistic illusion of her ex-husband Orcus to distract Erewhon. So basically, she's going to pretend to open the portal and not actually open the portal to distract him while Dorian goes and steals the word key. So while the spider-loving Dark Queen keeps her villainous partner occupied at nightfall, Dorian plans to sneak through a secret portal, an actual portal, directly into the Vogue King's private bedroom to locate and steal the final word key. Disguised as Erewhon himself using his clever shape-shifting magic, a fearless Dorian draws his sword Damaris, ignites his trusty fire magic, and courageously steps through the doorway into the terrifying, putrid darkness of Morath. I'm going to keep going. Chapter 77, expecting a terrifying villain lair, Dorian instead finds an ordinary bedroom in Morath, housing a starving, dark-haired girl wearing a wordstone collar with the final word key horrifically embedded inside her arm. Our compassionate king uses his soothing healing magic to numb her intense agony before taking Sorrel's knife to slice out the pulsing final word key, leaving the poor victim sobbing and begging him to end her tragic life. Before a conflicted Dorian can make that agonizing decision, Maeve waltzes through the portal, snaps the girl's neck as a grotesque wedding gift, and instantly traps his mind inside her suffocating dark web magic. Dark web.
Oh, he's in the dark web.
I really liked this scene. I said this in the last episode. I think that Sarah does a really great job with like anonymous people and like humanizing anonymous people in a way that really sticks with you. And I think the fact that we don't know anything about this girl other than that she's like emaciated and has dark hair, and that she momentarily overpowers the Vogue who's inside of her to ask to die, I think has such an impact. Like, I think this really, like, she's written like 3 or 4 other like anonymous moments, and I appreciate all of them.
Yeah, like the girl in Endovier.
Yeah.
Or not? It wasn't Endovier. It was the other one. Doesn't matter.
Is the other one. Yeah. I was shocked by this actually both times I've read it because again didn't remember it. That he created a Kaltane 2.0.
Yeah.
And so Kaltane, he doesn't necessarily know what happened to her other than that she died, but that he like literally just tried to recreate her in another body. And so like that felt really horrific to me that he was just like doing the same thing again. And that the whole reason she was able to sort of like overpower the Vogue in her in that moment was that Dorian
healed her.
Some of his healing magic so that she didn't feel as much pain when he took the word key out. And she was like, oh my God, you pushed it back. Yeah. Like, I suddenly have a realization of self, and was able to be like, please kill me. And yeah, it's like a really horrific scene.
Yeah. I think along the same lines as being like, I'm shocked that he did this because it's horrific. And also I'm shocked that he did this because it didn't work the first time.
Yeah.
Right.
So like, why wouldn't he come up with a new tactic? I think the theme
but he also doesn't know because he doesn't know that Kaltane was the one that like orchestrated the whole event.
I think the theme of these Erewhon chapters for me is that like Erewhon's kind of dumb.
Yes.
Like he doesn't know it's Dorian. He's trying the Kaltane thing again. He lost the word key.
He's just like a big brute. Big brute. Oh.
We've got a cat on a counter.
At this point, I even felt, I mean, I knew what was going to happen, but like in my first read of this, I was like, redemption arc isn't the word I want, but like Maeve talking about her backstory, I was like, wait.
I'm not interested in this, Sarah. I
was like, is she going to like save is she going to be, wait, because her backstory is, it's not like she was treated very wrongly, you know, like, and I was like, please, she needs to die. So like, I'm sorry that you had some shit happen to you, but like, I really hope when we get to the end of this, she's still dying. She did say, one of the few notes that I have, Maeve does say one particular thing that I find really interesting. She says, not all Vogue are evil.
Yeah.
And I'm like, huh, okay. When she said that, I was like, thought she was talking about herself.
Longtime listeners will know that I have elected to die on the hill of not all venom are inherently bad.
Right.
I don't know that I actually believe that anymore, but I said it with such conviction for so many episodes. I just like got to stick with it. So that reminded me of that. I feel at this moment, I felt similarly as I felt about the King of Adarlan's final moments in, what was that, Queen of Shadows? Where I was like, I'm not interested in this redemption arc. This man has to die. And we'll talk more about this in a minute. But yeah, I felt similar. I was like, we can't do this again.
Right.
I felt, and we said this in the last episode, I felt very similar to how I felt about like Kale's dad in this moment of like Sarah gives him this one moment of like almost humanity, and then it's like, oh no, JK. And that's kind of what this feels like with Maeve also, where it's like she has this almost moment of humanity, and then it's like, oh no, she's still the big bad.
And I think as a person who reads an enormous amount of predictable rom-coms, it's kind of nice when I like think something like I'm like, this is this, and then like it's not.
Yeah.
And I think the reason she's able to do that is because this series is 10,000 pages long.
Yeah.
There's 100 people in it. All right. Chapter 78, Maeve thinks she has won and demands the final word key, but Dorian brilliantly reveals he laid a clever mind trap using his white-hot fire magic on her exposed mind while mocking her dark ambitions. While holding the ancient queen frozen, Dorian triggers a massive web of ice magic he previously planted in the foundations, of the building, bringing down the eastern half of Morath in an epic stone-crumbling fortress destruction. Our brilliant king grabs all 3 word keys, uses his raw magic to permanently sever Maeve's Worldwalker powers, shifts into a crow and then a wyvern, leaving his screaming enemy stranded in the collapsing chaos. This was some Aelin Galathinius shit.
Yeah, dude. This was fucking great.
I'm playing 40 chess. I played you so hard. Even the reader didn't believe me. And now I'm a fucking wyvern and I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Bye.
Right. This is like fucking end movie credits playing a song. This is the end of fucking Fight Club watching the buildings clap, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I think also like we've had many buildings collapse in this book. And so I do think it's a theme. And so when a building collapses, like, it's done.
Yep. It's over.
So that Morath rip.
Bye, Morath.
Is that what we do?
Yep.
Oh, I added a
Yep.
LT.
Done.
All right. Chapter 79. Down in the smelly Farian Gap, Urine handles brutal pregnancy morning sickness while healing an infected Dargan soldier and offering to eventually repair Elide's crippled ankle after their war ends. Bort whisks Elide up to the northern fang on her ruck Arcus, where the Allied court has captured her abusive Uncle Vernon, who insufferably taunts Elide with news that Morath has already sacked Orynth. To prevent bloody torture, Aelin cleverly offers Vernon a cold tankard of ale and swears an oath that nobody present will kill him, tricking the sniveling man into dropping the massive bombshell that Maeve has allied with Erewhon. I liked a lot about this. I liked that Aelin was like, I'm going to give you the choice. And because Elide is probably one of our softest girls, she's like, I really don't give a shit. I said my piece, and I really appreciate that she was like, I don't have to kill him. Lorcan is crawling out of his fucking skin.
Yeah.
Trying to kill this man. And I just love that. I love that so much. I'm a sucker for a refrigerator and a who did this to you. It works for a reason. I loved it.
It also echoed back to earlier scenes in the series for me. We think about the first Volg that Aelin had captured for Arabin, with the whole the faux ring thing.
Yeah.
And so there felt similar threads in this for me, but equally as satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. All right, so chapter 80, Vernon reveals that 100,000 soldiers plus the terrifying Iron Teeth Legion are currently marching toward marching directly on Orynth, horrifying Aelin with the grim realization that her allied army is 2 full weeks away. Fulfilling her clever loophole oath, Aelin technically doesn't murder Vernon, but instead leaves him chained in a sealed room without food or water to slowly starve, handing the heavy key over to a satisfied Elide. Standing together on a windy balcony high above the Farian Gap, Aelin and her mate Rowan look out over their gathered forces, deeply bracing themselves for the desperate march north to defend Terrasen.
She does, however, so she holds up like what she said to Vernon. Elide had asked originally that they make it quick, and so she doesn't hold that up. Because she was like, sorry, that's not going to be quick.
Right, but she gives Elide the key to the door.
Right.
And Elide's
right, and
like...
that's why Elide's like, okay.
Well,
and we need to seal it more.
Right, Elide's like, we're going to seal this some more. I was like, oh, it's so fucking cold. I love it.
It's great. May all of our oppressors meet similar ends. It's great. Chapter 81. While Ren and Aedion dramatically wallow in the Great Hall over Morath's army of 100,000 terrifying soldiers, Aedion accepts that brooding won't save Orynth and gets to work on city defenses. Taking the battlements, Aedion commands the Bane and the Fey Royals to unleash pure artillery chaos, raining flaming boulders from Darrow's stockpile directly onto the helpless Vol grunts below. Just as the cheering defenders doesn't involve the word terrified. Just as the cheering defenders foolishly celebrate their brief tactical victory, Aedion unleashes his sword and braces for impact as a cold-eyed Vogue prince wearing a terrifying black collar effortlessly scales a siege ladder to personally crash the party. I'm going to keep going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Chapter 82, the brutal siege on the stone walls of Orynth escalates into an absolute nightmare when the Vogue Prince unleashes a dark, mind-shattering psychic attack directly into Aedion's head, while the ancient demon cruelly taunts his pathetic mortality and promises that Terrasen will burn to ash. A fierce Lysandra leaps into the carnage in her massive ghost leopard form to savagely rip through waves of incoming Vogue soldiers. Refusing to let his city fall, Aedion powers through the agonizing mental torture, taps into his royal warrior lineage, and brutally decapitates the Vogue Prince with his sword, temporarily securing the battlements against impossible odds.
Good job, Aedion.
Is this the moment where, when does he tell Lysandra to leave?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So I was like, I know he's going to kill this prince because he hasn't told Lysandra he loves her yet.
Yeah, not yet.
So he's not doomed yet.
Not yet.
Chapter 83. Far across the continent, Aelin and her legendary combined armada are frantically pushing their forces to complete physical exhaustion in a desperate race north towards Terrasen. Still suffering from severe magic burnout after her apocalyptic marsh burning display, Aelin carefully guards the tiny remaining embers of her magic while leaning heavily on her devoted mate Rowan for strength. As elite warriors, Lorcan, Fenris, and Gavriel force the relentless march forward through freezing conditions, the entire company is paralyzed by the sickening fear that Orynth will fall to Morath's forces long before their relief army can arrive to save them. I'm like, they're not going to make it.
No.
They're not going to make it.
There's no way. Not against 100,000 soldiers either.
No. Chapter 84.
Complete aside, I also got really caught up at some point in these chapters, just thinking about the difference in weather and seasons between the southern continent and the northern continent.
That's real.
And how, like, down in Antica, it was like 1,000 degrees. And now they're like trudging through snow and ice.
I used it for my heat wave square. Because there was like one moment where Kale was like, it's so oppressively hot. And I was like, check.
There it is.
Chapter 84. Back on the blood-soaked battlements of Orynth, the defense transcend... I'm not allowed to drink wine and podcast. The defense descends into a brutal war of attrition as Morath's army hurls endless waves of meat grinder attacks against the crumbling gates. A drastically depleted Lysandra pushes her magical shape-shifting abilities past human limits, risking permanent burnout as she shifts into terrifying beasts to pull dying Bane soldiers off the front lines. Meanwhile, Lord Darrow frantically manages the gruesome field hospitals and dwindling food rations inside the castle walls, leaving a bruised and battered Aedion to accept the terrifying truth that their noble defenders are officially running out of arrows, blood, and time. Chapter 85. Proving that she is the undisputed witch queen.
Cream.
Proving that she is the undisputed witch queen of Aurelia, Manon Blackbeak achieves a monumental miracle by officially uniting the ancient bitter enemies of the Croaken Witches and the Iron Teeth Coven into a single unstoppable aerial army. Standing alongside... What? Dorian, is Dorian there?
No.
Manon proudly mounts her fierce wyvern Abraxas to command thousands of broom-flying and wyvern-riding warriors taking to the clouds as the breathtaking sky fleet soars toward the desperate siege of Orynth. Manon prepares to rain bloody chaos down upon Erewhon's forces, proving that ancient clan rivalries are no match for the ultimate girl boss solidarity.
Hell yeah.
All right, chapter 86. While the defense of Orynth reaches peak chaos, Aedion goes full action hero on the battlements by single-handedly taking on an arrogant Vogue prince who scaled the siege ladder just to trash talk. Lacking magic of his own, our favorite brooding general... Didn't we talk about this already?
We did. I don't know what's going on with the note. I told you these notes weren't easy.
Okay. Well, I'm going to talk about Aedion at some point tells... So... Evangeline is losing her fucking mind. She's terrified. And Darrow shows that he's got a heart and is like trying to take care of her and is like she can't like just be standing on the balcony watching. Like she needs to be my messenger. So I appreciated that. And then Aedion at one point tells Lysandra when he sees the 100,000 soldiers approaching, I do think it's earlier than this.
Okay.
When he's approaching, he's like, use the tunnels and get out. And she's like, no. And he's like, take Evangeline and go. And she's like, no, you're not telling anybody else to go. And he's like, that's because I'm not in love with anybody else. And I thought it was a really sweet confession of love in the moment when I forgave Aedion.
He's like, I don't love our allies.
Yeah.
I love you, or something like that.
Yeah. He says, I'm not in love with our allies.
I'm not in love with our allies. He also, in one of these chapters too, gives Evangeline a really sweet, heartfelt pep talk. It's the night before the battle starts, and she's obviously like terrified, as any small child should be. Anybody should be, for that matter. And he talks about like, you have fear because you have something to love.
Yeah.
And you have something that you want to fight for. And so like, it's okay to be fearful because that means that you care. And that means that you have something that you want to continue. And it's a really, really sort of powerful thing.
Yeah, I loved that. I also want to say that like when Lysandra goes down into the sewers and shapeshifts into a manatee, I'm assuming, there was a moment where I was like, is this bitch leaving? But she wasn't. But I do think it's intentionally written that way so that you have like a paragraph to be like, what? But then she's like, nope, girl boss energy. I'm going to be a water wyvern or whatever.
Right. I'm just dragging it up again. Yeah.
All right. So it's chapter 87.
Hold on a second.
Everyone.
Yeah. These notes are wrong for this chapter, at least. I'm looking. Yeah. Because I'm looking at the book because I know what happens in this chapter. And none of this happens in this chapter. So, do you want to like pull up an internet one?
Yeah. Please hold.
Sorry, guys. I did this last night. And I know for a fact that this doesn't happen in chapter 87. Right.
Okay.
Oh yeah. No, this is not. Yeah, this is not.
We go back a little bit. Okay. So. Whoa.
Is it all wrong?
I mean, we're hitting a lot of the major plot points, so
yeah,
it's going to be okay.
Okay.
This is why I do it in small batches in case it hallucinates, but I don't know what happened with this one.
Sorry, I just can't see two things at once, so I'm struggling.
But you have two eyeballs.
Okay, so 83.
We're just fact checking our notes, everybody.
Okay, so in chapter 83, Dorian summons Gavin to tell him he has the keys and plans to take him to Aelin so they can decide what to do. We didn't talk about that. So chapter 84 is where Lysandra goes into the tunnel as a sea dragon, gets near the enemy, and waits for a signal. In chapter 85, Lysandra gets the signal, jumps from the water, and attacks the enemy as a sea dragon, then jumps back in the river and moves up to attack more enemies. They shoot flaming boulders down on Morath's forces while the Crocans fight the Iron Teeth. A siege ladder hits... What? When did the Crocans arrive?
Yeah, they arrived before that. I thought they had arrived sooner than that also. Because they, in essence, arrived before the battle started.
Oh, it's in chapter 81.
Yeah.
81.
Okay. So in chapter 81, that's the moment where Darrow shows Lysandra the last of the sacred texts from the library. They get ready for battle, and all of a sudden they're like, oh my god, what's in the sky? What's happening? Ah! And it's Manon and the 13, and they've brought an army of Crocan witches.
I think I'm like
Incredible.
Wizard of Oz, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so in chapter 85, the Crocans are fighting the Iron Teeth. And this is when the Vogue Prince arrives. The siege ladder hits the wall, and a Vogue Prince has arrived. In chapter 86, yeah, okay. So in chapter 86, the Vogue Prince and Aedion fight. The Vogue stabs Aedion in the armpit, and Ren saves him and kills the Vogue with a fire lance. Aedion is unconscious and sent to a healer.
Right.
Okay. In chapter 87, I'm reading notes from reviews from a bookworm, and she's like not thrilled, but it's fine. In chapter 87, Rowan has redone Aelin's tattoo and given her another one telling their story. Elide and Lorcan.
There it is.
Elide and Lorcan have their scene. Somebody tell us about it, because now I'm checking it.
Elide and Lorcan.
And Lorcan did.
Right. And Elide
and so Lorcan did.
Elide and Lorcan are finally books, getting a little hot and heavy, you know, and Elide is like, show me everything. And then the most quoted sentence ever, Amanda?
And so Lorcan did.
What? What did he do?
Did that many words? I thought it was just and Lorcan did.
No, it's and so Lorcan did.
And so Lorcan did.
What did he do?
So I knew that line. He showed her everything. I knew that line. And I thought that Lorcan was in Crescent City. And I thought that was a line from Crescent City. And so when we met Lorcan, I was like, is this a cool crossover thing? Like, what's happening? And you were like, no, that's in this book. And so I thought for a very long time, I thought So Lorcan Did was going to be like his like battle cry war ending moment. And it became very clear to me in the last book that I was like, oh no, it's when they bone.
Yeah.
Knew we weren't going to get it. But I understand that like people have a lot of issues with this. I liked it. I don't know. I feel like we know how Sarah writes sex scenes. Elide is like, also, we've talked about this in lots of other books, but like, I don't need to read about a virgin having sex.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
And
also, like, this series is not about that.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
You know, and, like,
this isn't her spicy series.
Right. Sarah comes in her own and, you know, develops her soup slowly over time.
If you want to read Sarah's soup, go read Court of the Silver Cover.
Yep.
And then read Crescent City, and, you know, it's all there. Great.
And if
this isn't that series.
If you want to know what Lorcan did, I'm pretty sure if you open up AO3, you will find a lot of people who have told you what Lorcan did.
Sure did.
All right. It's chapter 88, the high-flying aerial battle. Wait.
Yeah, this sounds right.
Yes, but when the tattoo stuff is happening, when is the democracy? No, it's later. Okay.
Later,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Chapter 88, the high-flying aerial battle over Orynth rapidly transforms into a horrifying meat grinder. It's the second time they're using meat grinder.
Yeah,
when Morath's deadly witch towers unleash catastrophic blasts of dark magic into the clouds. So they're like, instead of shooting the witch towers out, they're shooting them up.
Yeah.
And so people...
Kill everybody, yeah.
Manon Blackbeak watches in utter horror as dozens of Croken witches and Iron Teeth riders are instantly vaporized, unable to breach the impenetrable iron shields guarding the monstrous siege engines. Realizing these nightmare cannons will systematically wipe out the airborne fleet and crumble Terrason's last line of defense, Aster and Blackbeak and the 13 share a silent, heartbreaking look of absolute resolve as they prepare to execute an unthinkable final plan. At some point before this, Abraxas gets hurt.
I was about to say that. It's not in here.
Right.
Manon is fighting
Iskra Yellowlegs.
And yeah, that was a great moment. So Manon is fighting Iskra Yellowlegs, and Abraxas is dying. The wyvern has him by the neck, and yeah, like they're falling. I thought this was it for him. I really did.
Yeah, the only thing keeping my hope up was that I was like, this isn't written like a death. Like the way that Manon is like, I literally don't know what I'll do if he dies. I was like, then they can't kill him. But I was like, can healers heal wyverns? Like, I don't know.
But then Petra Blueblood, right?
Petra Blueblood shows up with the rest of the Iron Teeth that have decided to fight for a better world. Yeah. I knew I liked her. Dude, fuck the whole Yellowlegs clan.
She's like circling Iskra. She gets Iskra off Abraxas. She's like, and then Iskra's falling with the wyvern, and she's like circling so that the wyvern can't fly.
She's circling so tight that the wyvern can't open his wings, and Manon is like, "This bitch is gonna kill herself, like in order to kill Iskra Yellowlegs," but she doesn't. She like at the very end. And Iskra and her wyvern die. Petra Blueblood is here to fight for a better world with, some reinforcements. And Manon is able to get Abraxas to the healers, and the 13 are all holding pressure on his wound until the healers arrive. But
right before she hits the ground, Petra says, "For Keely."
Yeah. Rip Keely. Not rip Iskra Yellowlegs. Fuck you. So then the Witch Tower stuff becomes clear as a bunch of people are dying. And Manon is like, get me a wyvern. I need a wyvern. And she's like, Lysandra, shift into a wyvern. Lysandra's like, I'm tapped. Like, I literally can't. And she's like, somebody else give me your wyvern. In the most heart-wrenching and legendary display of bravery in fantasy history, Aster and Blackbeak and the 13 choose ultimate love over obedience to save their queen, their sisters, and the entire continent. Spurring their wyverns directly into the firing line of the 3 invincible witch towers, these immortal warriors prepare to unleash the ultimate ancient magic known as the Yielding. Before diving into the abyss, Asterin looks back at her leader one last time. It's not when it happens. It's when she's getting onto the wyvern. And she says the devastating final words, "Live, Manon, live." In a blinding flash of pure witch light, the 13 detonate their very souls, completely vaporizing the monstrous witch towers and wiping out Erewhon's front lines. Their magnificent triumph leaves a smoking crater on the plain of Theralis, forever etching their immortal legacy of the 13 into Orynth. I've never read anything like this.
And this is both the first time I read this and the second time I read this. And I said to you all, I couldn't remember how this book ends. And this is why I couldn't remember how this book ends, because I get so stuck on this scene. And both times I was like, shut the book, walk away. Because I'm like fucking devastated, man.
I had the opposite reaction. I was like, I have to keep reading. We have to record right now.
Oh.
This is probably the greatest scene I've ever seen.
It's crazy. I also I knew the line "Live, Manon, live." It's like literally on Kim's wall. I knew the line. I've seen it everywhere. Somebody commented it on Rick's TikTok that he made me watch. I knew the line. And I had a lot of theories about what that line was going to be. My strongest theory was that I thought Manon was going to do something to sacrifice herself instead of Aelin or Dorian. And Dorian was going to say that to her as he like surrendered his magic to resuscitate her. That was my theory of what I thought was going to happen. Never in a million years did I think Astrid was going to say it before the entire 13 sacrificed themselves for the cause.
The entire 13.
And the way this scene is,
we still have more than 20% to go. And so that was my thing. Like, this happened, and I was like, fuck this shit. Like, I'm done.
The way this was written, just like they're flying in a straight line, and then you hear, like, you're told each one of them go down.
Yeah.
You hear, like, what they did specifically, how they were fighting. You hear about Astrid going directly into the witch tower and seeing Manon's grandmother, and she like tore her shirt off. She's there with her scars out, and she like personally kills Manon's grandmother, which is exactly how it needed to go, and like 1,000% why Manon couldn't have killed her 10 chapters ago.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, this is amazing.
Yep. No words. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. This is...
I'm going to keep going because I do... Socket, why are you growling? She's really upset about the 13. Yeah. Okay, Chapter 90. In the devastating silent aftermath of the yielding, a heartbroken Manon Blackbeak kneels in the smoking ashes of the battlefield alongside Abraxas, utterly shattered by the loss of her coven. The citizens of Orynth, alongside Croken witches, Iron Teeth witches, and the Bane, stream out from the city gates in a solemn procession to lay flowers, stones, and personal offerings until the blasted crater is transformed into a blooming garden of tribute. As Glennis quietly urges the... Socket. As Glennis quietly urges... Can you hear her?
No.
As Glennis quietly urges the weeping witch queen to be the bridge for their united people, a single miraculous flower begins to bloom on a distant barren plain, signaling that hope and magic are returning to Aurelia.
Oh, Amanda is about to yell at Socket. Socket is being a bad girl right now. Amanda's getting up to go yell at Socket.
She's never been a bad girl in her entire life. She's just been warned.
She's got some thoughts.
Amanda is getting up to go talk to Socket.
A lot of thoughts too.
Yeah, no, I don't know. This is the chapter we needed right after that last one. I loved that it ended with the flower blooming in the wastes.
Yeah. I knew about the flowers. I don't really think it's that big of a spoiler that I knew about the flowers, but I liked this moment where you just have like, and far away, a single flower bloomed. This is your episodally reminder that Sarah J. Maas is Jewish. The stones here are really nice. What I like about it is that they actually acknowledge in the text that different people come to grief and their practices and their understanding of loss and of the afterlife are different. And because we have so many different cultures here, they are all bringing different things. And so like some people are bringing flowers, some people are bringing stones, some people are bringing personal items. And I really, really love that as like an understanding of like spiritual pluralism. I think this is one of those moments where it's like, oh yeah, like she's got like a religious studies background. And then the nod to the stones, of course, which we had seen in previous books as well from her. But I love that. Y'all knew I was going to talk about the stones.
No, it's fine. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Engage pluralism.
We love it. Okay. Chapter 91. We're leaving the witches for a while. We're reuniting at the crossroads near Endovier. A weeping Dorian Havilliard warmly embraces Cale Westfall, meets his new healer sister-in-law, Urine Towers, and discovers he will soon be an uncle before dropping the absolute bombshell that he solo destroyed Morath and swiped the final word key. He shows up a few chapters ago. It was in the midst of the notes that were not great.
And he's a wyvern.
He's a wyvern. He shows up. They freak out. It's him. Cale cries. Everyone cries. I was so grateful for Dorian and Cale's reunion. I thought it was really precious. And in a book that is so much about powerful women, it was really lovely to have this like moment of brotherhood. Because I think we've had a lot of like person connection hood, but it's like, that's my brother.
They haven't seen each other in like 2,000 pages.
Yeah. And Urine is like, it's nice to meet you. And he's like, I've always wondered what it would be like to have a sister. And she's like, you're going to be an uncle. And he's like, what? And it's just like so human and real. Like, I feel like that's exactly how this would go in real life. And so that was really precious. All right. So after breaking the horrifying news that Maeve and Erewhon are officially teaming up while the Iron Teeth host flies towards Orynth, Aelin, Ashriver, Ashriver, Whitethorn, Galathinius, gives everyone a grim ultimatum between marching north to Terrasen or sacrificing someone immediately to steal the Word Gate. In an unexpected democratic twist, Aelin calls a group vote where Princess Hazar and Dorian vote for immediate lock forging, leaving a deeply devastated Rowan Whitethorn, Galathinius, completely outvoted as the Alliance prepares for the Dawn Wordgate ritual. And the last person to vote is Aelin. And they say, Aelin, how do you vote? And she says, it doesn't matter.
Did Dorian vote to lock it?
I don't remember.
Yeah, because I saw that they were talking about this, saw a reel, and it was like, when Aelin finally meets up with her family, they vote to kill her. But somebody in the comments was like, well, hold on. The only people that voted to kill her were the people of the Kagante. Like Dorian and Kale did not vote for that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Because like Dorian immediately from like walking into this moment is like, this isn't your burden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
he's like, he's been preparing himself.
And he even says, and she was like, we put it up to a vote. And he was like, what? Because you want to die? And she's like, do you?
Yeah.
And in essence, he's like, yeah.
Okay.
And like, both of them are like, yeah, we're kind of like prepared for this moment. So
I would also like to say 5 or 6 chapters before this, I texted you guys.
Yeah.
It was like, they keep saying it's going to take all of somebody. It's going to take all of somebody to forge the lock. There's 2 of them. Can't it take half of 2 of them instead of all of somebody? And then next chapter, Rowan comes up with the idea, and I was so fucking proud of myself, and then it didn't fucking work. But I was on such a journey with that. All right, so chapter 92.
It's too obvious. That's why.
I was so proud of myself. Chapter 92, back at their camp near the Endovier salt mines, a furious Rowan Whitethorn aggressively slams tables while refusing to accept Aelin, Ashriver, Whitethorn, Galathinius, giving up and submitting to her tragic, fatal Wordgate prophecy. As Aelin despairs over paying the Mala Sunfire's blood debt, Rowan hits her with a genius realization. Since both she and Dorian Havilliard possess Mala's fire magic and previously combined powers at the Glass Castle, they could split the fatal cost and accomplish a joint lock forging together. Re-energized to fight for their future together, Aelin sneaks over in the dead of night to wake Dorian, who instantly agrees to the combined lock forging plan while requesting that Kale Westfall witness their midnight sneak attack on Destiny.
Real quick, just comment, and then go to the next one. I fucking just love how hard Dorian fucking rolls. Like, Aelin rolls in, she's like, I have a plan. And he's like, who's driving? And that's it.
Right.
And then he's like, my brother has to, your maid is coming, my brother's coming.
Yeah.
Right.
I loved it. The 2 people who love them most. Chapter 93, the squad sneaks into the trauma-filled Endovier salt mines. I don't understand why they have to do it in the salt mines.
Yeah.
I think it's just
like,
because they're there. I don't know.
It's for the drama, but
Yeah.
It's like, come on, dude. So the squad sneaks into the trauma-filled Endovier salt mines where Aelin, Ashriver, Whitethorn, Galathinius carves overlapping word marks into the dirt while Rowan, Whitethorn, Galathinius offers an emotional farewell kiss and promises to stay with her heart. Aelin melts open the amulet of Orynth, retrieves the 3rd word key, and slices open her forearm, mirroring Kaltain Rompier, before slamming all 3 word key shards directly into her flesh, while joining bloodied hands with Dorian, Whitethorn, Galathinius. As Rowan seals the magical floor runes, the word keys dissolve into blood, leaving Aelin and Dorian standing completely unseeing and vacant, while Rowan falls to his knees in agony as the mating bond violently writhes in absolute terror. You have to imagine what Kale and Rowan are watching. Like, the people they love most in this world are standing there.
He just got Dorian back.
What? He just got Dorian back. He just got Aelin back.
Yeah.
They're standing in this magical circle, and they're just...
Yeah.
And they're fucking...
And you can't touch them, and they're like...
They're bleeding. Like, they're stone-faced, they're not moving, and Rowan can feel that the bond is not doing well.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Again, I said this when we talked about Fenris. Like, I think perhaps the only thing worse than being tortured is watching someone you love be tortured, and this is that. It's rough. Chapter 94. Transported inside the misty word gate, Aelin, Ash River, Whitethorn, Delphinius, and Dorian Havilliard find themselves at the crossroad of all things, pouring their infinite magical power into forming the lock shaped like the Eye of Elena. The magical drain turns into horrifying agony as their power peels away like skin, leaving Aelin screaming and sobbing, while Dorian realizes this insatiable lock creation will ultimately devour their souls instead of leaving either ruler alive. Just as the ritual reaches a point of total soul destruction, a ghost-like figure steps through an impossible doorway and commands them to stop, revealing himself to be Dorian's father, the former king of Adarlan, summoned by the truth-telling sword, Damaris.
Keep going.
I did not see this coming.
No way.
Whoa!
Chapter 55, summoned by Damaris, the former king of Adarlan begs to take their place, revealing that Erawan completely erased his name from history, making him literally nameless, as written in the amulet of Orynth's prophecy. How did I not catch that?
I don't know.
I feel like you had even said it in an earlier episode. I meant to go back and listen.
Like, what's his name?
Yeah, because I feel like at some point in like very early, like in Throne of Glass, you had been like, why does he not have a name?
Good job, me. I had forgotten that he didn't have a name because this series is 10,000 pages long. He didn't have a name. And I also, when I was looking at other people's fan casts, I saw like a joke one, like a meme one, and they had cast like the Burger King as the King of Adarlan. And so that's who he is in my mind. And so I almost called this episode Burger King's Redemption Arc.
Can like Knox Owens be like the Hamburglar or something?
Oh yeah. All right. So chapter 95. With Mala's blood trickling in his veins, Dorian's father offers to pay the ultimate lock-forging price, issuing a tearful apology to Dorian Havilliard for his past reign of terror and possessed cruelty, deciding that one of us has to rule. Hold on. I want to talk about Daddy Dorian for a second. I have long said I'm not interested in a Daddy Dorian redemption arc. When he died and Rick asked me 1,000 questions about whether I thought I was interested in his redemption arc, and I was like, no, fuck you. I don't care. He deserves to die. Asterisk, this is fine.
You take it.
He's already dead. He did deserve to die. And this is answering that question that Dorian's had for a really long time, which is like, was he ever my father? Did he ever love me?
Right.
And deep down, he really did.
Yeah.
And so I think this serves to give Dorian that piece. And you're like, it's great. They're going to forge the lock. The king is sacrificing himself. It's going to be great. It's not enough.
Nope.
And Aelin says, one of us has to rule. And so she shoves Dorian through the Word Gate portal back into Aurelia, which apparently she's been planning to do all along because Aelin always has plans that we don't know about, leaving him roaring in shock as she takes his father's hands to finish the deadly sacrifice. Chapter 90. Yes.
So I just wanted to say too, and I've said this all along, but like we have these moments of humanity versus not humanity. And so I love the like redemption arc here. But then also like the fact that like it's not enough, you know? And so it's like it didn't actually solve it. And so it's like, oh yeah, like he did have a soul, but actually no, this wasn't enough.
It's not enough.
And that's kind of been like what we've seen with a lot of the other people who have been morally gray villains in this as well, of like they have moments of humanity, but like, oh no, not quite enough.
Chapter 96. After hours of standing like motionless statues in this cold place, Dorian collapses as our favorite sneaky queen, Aelin, executes her ultimate deceit, dropping his hand and using Dorian's father to forge the lock, while trapping Rowan, Chaol, and Dorian outside the ring of word marks. As the ancient sword Damaris is unceremoniously tossed aside, Rowan watches in utter horror while their mating bond stretches dangerously thin. realizing his stubborn mate completely lied about her suicidal sacrifice. Right before completely dissolving into nothingness, the Nameless King passes on a tear-jerking message from Aelin's parents, saying her debt has been paid, leaving Aelin to drain her magic down to a single droplet of water as the lock is forged. That's her mother's magic.
Yeah.
The droplet of water. What's the debt that's been paid?
The debt of Elena, of fucking up the lock, and that Nameless is the price.
Okay, so this is the moment where Aelin knows she's not going to die. Because if the debt's been paid, that means she's not going to die.
Very soon. It's like in the next chapter, she actually
says... And why would her parents know the debt is paid?
I don't know, because they're all in the spirit world.
I thought the debt was like her debt to Terrasen.
Oh,
and that she could like relieve herself of the like, I ran for 10 years. And her parents were saying like...
I didn't think that. Okay.
I'm open to multiple interpretations of that.
I think I just want, like, when we're talking about sort of like the bigger powers at play here, like the debt feels bigger than just 10 years. So I thought this was like the ancestral debt.
Yeah, I was just confused. I was like, why do they know that? And now she knows she's not going to die, but she's still acting like she's going to die. I don't know. I was confused. All right, chapter 97. Stranded in the misty crossroads of eternity with her vast magic completely drained down to the single droplet of water, Aelin confronts 12 arrogant gods and spots Elena being held prisoner among their celestial ranks. Banking on Yurun towers to defeat Erewhon back in Aurelia, Aelin boldly attempts to strike a final bargain with the impassive gods to trade Erewhon's soul to free Elena's soul so she can rest peacefully in the afterworld. However, the cruel goddess Diana viciously snaps that they don't make bargains with mortals anymore, callously obliterating Elena into 1,000 shimmering pieces before haughtily walking back through the portal to her pristine homeworld, leaving a horrified Aelin completely empty-handed.
Wasn't expecting that.
The theme of all of the Mossverse is fuck the gods.
Yeah. You love seeing gods, though.
I do love seeing gods. I don't like these gods.
No, they're fucking assholes.
I like when we meet gods. Chapter 98. Back in cold Endovir, a frantic Rowan desperately clings to his fraying mating bond, while in the mist-shrouded realm, the compassionate goddess Mala bestows a kernel of white-hot power upon Aelin as an ultimate reward for fighting for her daughter, Elena. Mala also reveals that Rowan masterfully disguised word marks inside Aelin's back tattoo of spread wings, secretly creating a magical map home and a strong tether directly to her soulmate. Fueled by this celestial flame and absolute rage, Aelin delivers iconic payback by opening a portal to the Hell Realm directly inside the god's sky, leaving the terrified gods trapped before using Mala's power to seal the lock and bravely driving straight through the gate to return to her world. She has been saying for so long that Rowan is home. Rowan is home. He smells like pine and snow. That's what Terrasen smells like. I am a sucker for home is people, not a place. So I loved this. It was beautiful. Chapter 99, free falling through infinite multiverses. Aelin rockets past futuristic towers in a city along a river.
That's Crescent City.
Snow-capped mountains under a starry sky where the most handsome man she's ever seen, winged fey male and his pregnant mate. And she's like, he's fey, but he's not like me. Slow her frantic descent across the starry sky using a shield of dark night power. So she slows down enough. Guided by Rowan's tether, she successfully crashes back into her physical body in Endovir, just as the word gate slams shut, snapping their mating bond back together and bringing Rowan, Kale, and Dorian to weeping relief. Although her fire magic is reduced to an ordinary ember of flame alongside a small droplet of water, and her human mortality was completely burned away between worlds into a permanent fey form, our beloved queen who walked between worlds is officially back home.
And scene. Book done.
So Cindy likes to say that every Sarah J. Maas book ends twice. So this is the first ending.
This one ends like 3 times.
Well, Crescent City ended like 12 times. This one ends. This is the first ending, I think.
I was like, the Witches, the 13 was the first ending. I was like,
yeah. No. Queen of Shadows is the first ending, honestly.
Yes.
So in thinking of our checklist of things that Aelin has to do to save the world, she's destroyed the Wordstones. she's freed the gods. She's not destroyed Erewhon. She's not destroyed Maeve. She's devastated her fire magic, which is what you need to kill Volg. But she believes very strongly that Yreen's exorcism powers, healing powers, but their exorcism powers, will be able to do something. Rick's going to ask me what's going to happen next. I don't know. I feel like she's been bailed out so many times that I don't really think she's going to get bailed out again. And she's going to have to figure out how to do this without raging fire magic.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't have it anymore.
Right.
Well, because it's like, I mean, like, could she get her magic? I don't know. I just like read a whole book where they get their magic back.
No, she already got her magic back. She got her magic back multiple times.
Yeah. So I don't think that can happen here. So I don't know.
We saw Crescent City.
What?
We saw Crescent City.
They saw Crescent City and they saw Valaris.
Here's our crossover.
Okay, so I went back and read that a bunch of times, and I was like, are there other things that they see?
Right.
And there are other things that they see, but she doesn't go into any of them as much. And I looked back at the publishing dates. So ACOTAR,
did the same thing.
All 5 had been published, but Crescent City had not all been published. And so that's why I think we get a shorter look at Crescent City. There's nothing spoilery about it, but ACOTAR, you have to like be caught up.
I did catch one thing though, and you even read it, but at the end of Crescent City, right? There's a portal open.
Yep.
Do you remember where it was to? The beasts were coming out of it. Remember?
It's like to a different realm.
Yeah, but it has a name, a specific name. It's Hell.
Oh, with one L.
Right. Yeah. And in this one, she opens a portal to a Hell realm. And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, shit. Is that the same fucking place?
I assumed it was the same thing.
That's really fucking
cool. So I
think
this is the answer. This is what the Maasverse is. It's a bunch of multiverses stacked on top of each other. They have similarities and they have differences. And now I don't have to read the rest of Crescent City.
Nope.
And not all Volg are evil. And so I think about the cereal.
Oh, we didn't even talk about, they go to a place that's called like Surya or something.
Correct. Yes.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? What? That's where the cereal is from. My girl.
Yeah.
The hardest I've ever cried at a death.
But yeah, like the cereal, Baraxis, the Bone Carver, like all certainly very morally great characters, but not all evil. But likely Volg.
Yeah.
And what's her name?
The Weaver.
Yeah, the Weaver, of course.
No, what's her name?
Amryn.
Amryn, thank you.
I've got lots of big questions about Amryn. Like,
you what?
I have lots of big questions about Amryn. I'm like taking lots of notes on this reread.
I have other questions about Amryn.
I hope we get a book about her. But more first. I want a book about
in ACOTAR, when she meets the Weaver and she's running up the chimney. Do you remember this part?
Yep.
And she throws a brick at her face.
Yep.
She bleeds black blood.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit.
Of course they're all Volg. I mean, all the like ancient creatures in every other of the Maasverse are Volg.
They must be Volg.
They're all connected. And the Asteria are gods.
So cool.
It's all connected.
So I get it. I don't have to.
No, you got to read it.
Oh my god.
At this point, I'm just doing it to mess with you. Yeah, this is great. It's 9:00. I'm going to finish it tonight.
You better. I want to hear everything.
I will certainly finish it before you guys wake up in the morning.
Good.
It's true. You do that well.
I've been up since 3.
That's crazy.
Well, Tristan had an early flight.
It's been 2 days, but are we reading anything else?
It's been 2 days. I finished A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. I said this in the last episode. I wish I had read it instead of listening to it. I'm about halfway done with Under Lock and Key. And I tried to start the audiobook of Bookshops and Bone Dust, but I might have to read it.
No, read it. Yeah, the audio I don't feel like it's gonna be great.
I need an audiobook though. That's how I'm powering, you know?
Okay, that's fair.
Anybody reading anything else?
Yes. So I have started The Incandescent, which is one of the blind date books that I got from the bookstore Meet Cute in San Diego, which my best friend Jen sent me. And it is, in essence, dark academia sapphic romance. So I'm fucking here for it. Also with protagonists who are millennials. And so they're both in their 30s. So we love that. And so far, it's really fucking good. So I'm not super far into it. I'm like 50 pages into it right now. But I'm just like, wow, this is like the Harry Potter sapphic romance, but also my age that I have always dreamed of. So I'm jazzed about that. And I think Amanda and I can both admit that we have both rehearted season 1 of Heartstopper, and so that's also been what I've done in the last 24 hours. I had been dealing with a migraine yesterday and much of today, and so it was good enough to be on the couch and to mostly watch Heartstopper.
I've been a Flower Factory, and Heartstopper is good Flower Factory background.
I love it. And Rick watched at least one episode.
I've seen 2 episodes of Heartstopper. It's fun.
Okay.
And Scott Pilgrim. I have 3.5 hours left of course, Court of Mist and Fury.
Green cover.
Court of the Green cover. According to Gemini, if I read 2 hours a day, every day, I will finish the Maasverse by September 1st.
You'll do that.
Yeah. So that's the plan. The plan is to beat September 1st. That's the goal.
I have so much more reading to do. I'm working on it.
All right. What's our homework is to finish Kingdom of Ash.
Finish Kingdom of Ash.
By tomorrow morning.
Nope. You're going to get a full week. This episode will come out in a few days, and then the next episode we'll record soon.
Probably
and
tomorrow.
Then we'll finish. We'll buy ourselves some time before we start One Dark Window.
Yeah, no, I have fun ideas. Like I want to rank like book boyfriends in Throne of Glass or something.
Or are we doing bonus episodes?
I don't know, to buy time. I don't know. Figure it out.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.